So it's time for day 2's top 5 tips. So the first one that I loved was from George Gammon, and it was about the network effect. You know, having a master's degree in technology, I understand how powerful the network effect is when it comes to technology, but I never thought about how the network effect makes the US dollar so powerful and how it makes it so difficult to actually replace globally in terms of that process. And again, if you're interested in this, wait till the end of the video. I've done a full debrief on day 2, and you can watch the full debrief where I go into all the detail about that. Number 2 is all about where, again, George Gammon went and looked at the top 3 things that all the best investors in the world, you name it, from Ray Dalio to Warren Buffett to Jim Rogers, it doesn't matter who you look at and you look at over time, there's 3 things that they all have. The first one is risk management. They know how to manage risk. As Warren Buffett says, you know, rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, refer to rule number 1. It's all about how do you manage risk. The second or the third thing is ultimately, it's about asymmetric risk reward. So that is where you don't buy things that are tied together. So as an example, if you put some money in the New York Stock Exchange and it goes down, the London Stock Exchange will go down. And now there's actually a lot of correlation, which means it's tied together between the stock market and bonds. And unfortunately, most baby boomers have their money with financial planners, and 70% of it's in stocks and 30% of it's in bonds, but there's a huge correlation. Asymmetric risk reward is where you do the opposite. And that's why the wealthiest people in the world, 579,000 of the wealthiest people in the world that have $30 million or more, have more than 50% of their assets in alternative assets, because that's where you find asymmetric risk reward. And in terms of that process, then the fourth one was an edge. So it's like, how do you find an edge? How do you go out and find the latest information? How do you come up with frameworks? You know, I worked with Clem Sunter. You all know about my book, Property Going Global. We've got our course coming out again, the upgrade, the Wealth Going Global. That's an edge. That's an edge. A framework is our 4D wealth framework, or our 9 steps to generational wealth, where we've literally gone and copied the best in the world and given it to you as a system that you can use. But the most important edge that you can ever have is getting in the room with the best people. Proximity is power. I always say I like to be the dumbest, poorest person in the room. I'm definitely the dumbest and probably the poorest in terms of this room. It's the most phenomenal group of 130 investors from around the world. And then tip number 5 is AI. And I mean, that just gives you the ultimate edge. You know, if you're not using AI nowadays, if you're not using ChatGPT, they always say that in a couple of years, there are going to be 2 types of people. There's going to be those people that are unemployed because they don't know how to use AI, and I don't care if you're an employee or a business owner, it's going to be the same thing. Or it's those people that are actually using AI to enhance their lives. And it's just, I can't explain to you the power of AI and how valuable it is in terms of where the world is going. And so that's so valuable. If these are of interest to you, if you're enjoying these daily recaps, this is day 2, well, you can literally click on the links now. It's up here where you can go and watch day 1. So you can watch the day 1 full review. It's about 30 minutes. You can watch the day 2. I don't know exactly where to look, but it's somewhere up here where you can watch the day 2 full review in terms of that process. If you like these, subscribe to the channel, share them with your friends. But most importantly, come and join the conversation. Click on the link below. Come to the Wealth University. I'm sharing the recordings there. I'm putting up white papers. I'm putting up cheat sheets. And for me, I really, truly want you to be able to get access. This is a bastion. This is like the inner circle. Very, very few people are being invited to be here. 130 of the best investors in the world. It's Robert Kiyosaki and a few others, this little tight-knit group. And I had the privilege of being personally invited. Well, I want to share the knowledge with you. And I ask you to share it with others, because I truly believe that our purpose, our passion is to empower everyone to invest like the top 1%. And by doing that, we can have a significant impact on this planet. So I hope that it's of value to you. If you're enjoying this, as I said, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, but come and join us in the conversation. And if you literally go into the school group and the link below and you comment the word dollar, I'm going to give you the cheat sheet on everything that the panel spoke about with regards to the future of the US dollar. And that's one of the most critical things that you need to know as an investor, because it will have a dramatic impact on investing over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, depending on who and what is going to be the reserve currency. Till tomorrow, from the back of the ship here, I'll see you soon. Cheers.